What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video, we're going to be doing a showcase on one of the brand new Void champions here that we got in the game called Niamhe Spear of Nyresa. Now, obviously, the spelling of this champion's name doesn't really match, but apparently in the Irish pronunciation, her name is Neve. So here she is. She's a Void legendary champion. I actually pulled this champion on my most recent Void pull, maybe about a month ago. So we are on the live server here, and I've built out and tested this champion here. I actually really like her. We're going to be doing a showcase on her in this video. But first, let's quickly go over her kit here. She's a defense-based support champion. She has very good base defense here, as you can clearly see. She is Void Affinity, of course. She looks awesome. Looks like she kind of belongs in the high elves, but you know, these are wood elves. It's pretty close, I guess. You got an A1 here. Single target hit, decrease attack, decrease crit rate. Has a 50% chance that these debuffs cannot be resisted or blocked, so that means you don't need accuracy on it. The debuff chance goes up to 75% chance when fully booked out. Also gets 15% damage boost from a single book, which is actually pretty good value. Going into her A2 here, Cerulean Guard, 5-turn cooldown, books down to 4-turn cooldowns, 25% damage boost from books. Single target hit has a, if the target is 50% HP or less, this attack is always critical and ignores 50% of the target's defense. Now that's very powerful. Places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns. The value of the shield is equal to the difference between the target's current HP and the target's max HP. So it depends how low the enemy is when this attack hits, and then you'll get a shield based on that difference. If it's a boss, the value of the shield is proportional to this champion's defense. And then if the target is killed, it also reduces the cooldown of all ally skills. It's on a 4-turn cooldown, so it's a pretty big ability here, but I can tell you guys the shield is pretty massive on her. So this is a really high value ability. And also she can obviously hit a little bit hard with the ignore 50% defense there. Would have been nice to see 100% ignore defense, similar to Odin, but this one's 50%. And then her A3 here is a team-wide heal proportionate to the defense. It's actually a pretty big heal. And block debuffs and ally protection on a 3-turn cooldown. It's quite solid. The best thing about her kit is actually her passive here. Places a block damage buff on all allies for 1 turn at the start of each round. And each time this champion's HP drops below 50%. Now when she is revived at 50%, I tested it, it doesn't work. So it only happens when her HP gets below 50%, then the shield, the block damage happens again. And then lastly, her aura 35% in all battles, which is pretty much the best or one of the best in the game. Super solid kit, but the passive makes her very viable, especially in PvP content. But she's definitely a huge support in all areas of the game. Now, like I said, this is the live server here, so I do have her fully built, booked out, and geared out on my account for use. I think she's good enough that I can use her and put her into some PvP content. So I'm going to show you guys my build on her here. All right, guys, so this is my Neve Spear of Nyresa. So like I said, this is the live server here. I have her fully built and fully booked out on my account, and I plan to use her pretty regularly here. We'll go over my build here real quick. So 9-piece protection seems like, you know, pretty obvious choice for her because of her passive block damage that she places. The 9-piece gives a 75% chance of protecting that initial block damage, as well as her other buffs that she places. She does place 4 buffs. She has a shield, block debuff, ally protection, and of course the block damage here. So she gets a lot of value from the 9-piece protection, right? Because you get an additional 5% more damage per buff. So you potentially have 20% additional damage for your entire team. And of course, the protection set gives additional bonuses like speed, which is really nice for her. If you don't have the 9-piece protection set, you can go down to 6 pieces. So 50% chance to place protected buffs, which is fine. And if you don't have 6 pieces, you can go down to 4 pieces. And if you don't have any protection gear, you can just use speed and defense. Now for Neve here, she's actually pretty easy to build for the most part. She doesn't really need crit rate, and she basically doesn't need accuracy because her A1 lands the debuff 75% of the time without accuracy. And her A2 will always crit half the time. Well, half the HP time. Well, not quite half the time, but you know what I mean. Under 50% HP, it will always crit. And it will hit hard too because you ignore 50% of the target's defense. Now, just bringing up Hell Hades' website here, we just have a quick look at the multipliers. The A1, we have them 4.1 multiplied by defense multiplier, which gives it a strong rating. Her base defense is quite high, which means that a solid multiplier like a 4.1 on a A1 means it can hit pretty good. The A2 here, you can see it's a 5.4 by defense, multiplied by defense, which gives it a godlike rating. It's actually rated 31st against Arena and 39th in Hydra. I mean, a lot of that's going to come down to the ignore 50% defense, which is obviously very, very strong. And her heal is going to be a 4x defense multiplier here. So a very, very impressive kit overall, and no weird surprises with the multipliers. So that's great to see. But here, I'll show you guys the gear pieces here real quick. So what you're looking for is basically speed. If you can squeeze in defense percentage, that's great. If you can squeeze in crit damage, that's great. But that's basically what you're looking for, just speed, defense percentage here, speed. I got some HP. Crit rate's not necessary. Accuracy is not necessary. Again, this one's just for a speed piece. This glove here, just defense with defense, HP, and speed. Obviously, crit damage, like I said, is going to be pretty okay. Got defense here. We got HP percentage. Unfortunately, I couldn't roll defense percentage yet. I got crit damage, speed, more defense, resistance. Resistance on her is pretty nice as well because it does cover, you know, some parts of her kit that are kind of weak. Like she can be weak to like strips, for example, if buffs are not properly protected. But if she had high resistance, for example, it could possibly protect her from that, getting her buff stripped. Her boot here is going to be speed over speed with defense percentage, a little bit of crit damage, which is very nice. In terms of the banner, you want defense, of course, you want speed. I chose crit damage amulet here. You can definitely just go for defense. It's going to be fine. I went for a little bit extra damage. And then her ring is going to be defense and HP, just, you know, support stats. Here's the total stats for her. 340 speed, we got 155 crit damage here. No crit rate necessary, no accuracy necessary, and I can't build resistance on her. So I'm not going to try. 6.5k defense here. Could be a little bit more if I rolled that HP percentage into defense. So it should be right under 7k. And if I got a 3-star blessing on her, it would be over 7k defense. Pretty significant amount. As for the relic, I went with Aspect of Suroth. When a wearer receives fatal damage, reduce it by 50% of their turn meter and then fully reduces their turn meter. Now, Neve, if she can survive the fatal damage, then her health will be under 50% health, and then she'll trigger her passive block damage, basically giving her time to recover. At least that's the idea that I have for her. So it feels like it's a fine relic for her. Shield buffs placed on the wearer are 10% stronger. She places shields, increasing defense, increasing turn meter effectiveness. Seems like, you know, very flexible with the gems, nothing too crazy there. As for the blessing choice, I went for Lightning Cage. It seems like a very obvious high value choice for her. Gives you a chance to protect her buffs further. A little bit extra RNG to protect her buffs. Seems like an obvious choice. And here are her masteries. Tier 6 masteries, not super valuable. And you can probably get away without doing the tier 6. I went with Timely Intervention. Gives her a chance to gain some turn meter to come back and maybe protect the team with a big heal or a big shield. Lasting Gifts, very high value here. Extending the buffs that she places, the shields, for example. Turn meter boosting is nice. A little bit of healing is very good because obviously as soon as she gets over the 50% HP threshold, she has a chance to activate that block damage once she goes under that threshold. So, you know, we went down all the healing masteries, went down to the bigger shield masteries. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, you don't need accuracy on her, so you're not going to go down the right side. And you're not going to go down offense tree because, you know, she already ignores 50% defense. And you don't have a, you know, big damage DPS set on her anyways. So defense support seems like the way to go for her. All right, let's bring her out for a spin. We'll test her out mostly for PvP. Obviously, she can carry very hard in dungeons and all that. Her shield is quite large. We'll see that in action here. We'll test her in live arena. We do have the live arena session open right now. So we'll see if we can pick her out in some fights, and we'll talk through how best to utilize her there. All right, in this situation, we can try Neve against this setup, against the bombs. It's not particularly good against the block buffs here, but we'll give her a try. But this would be one of her use cases against bombs, but not the best, right? Let's see how she plays here. See her in action. All right, we get to go first. right. We can shut him down. Nope. Of course, we lose the we're gonna lose the sheep. No. Let's see how it goes. Okay, looks good. There we go. See that work, guys? Perfect. That worked perfectly. When the bombs start triggering her health, she can recover with the block damage, and now she's back over 50% HP. We're all good. So at that point, works perfectly. Great counter to bombs. Although not the best counter to Empress. For example, he has the health swap ability, so he can actually like low health swap Neve out, swap her into low health, and then doesn't benefit from the block damage. So I would be wary about using her against Empress. Also, Fabian can, you know, block her out too, or reduce the cooldown, reduce the turns on the block damage for the whole team. So that's a possibility as well. Playing Empress every fight so far, actually. Oh, this is interesting. We're actually playing against Neve here. So that'd be interesting. How do we counter her? That's better. Better situation here for us to showcase. How do we counter her? I mean, Wukong seems pretty good. We can also take Rotos here as well. I think I like the Wukong a little bit more. Actually, against the Queen, maybe Rotos is a little bit better. We'll take Rotos here. We can't ban. We're not gonna ban the Queen. Usually banning the Queen's okay, but I think we ban Arman's here. Do we? Maybe we ban the Queen. Do we ever get? I mean, he's probably gonna ban. Probably gonna ban Fabian because he brought the Queen, right? Yeah, makes sense. All right, makes sense. So, okay. Let's see if we can play against Neve. So we buff, Queen comes in. Gonna do the strip. We do have Stone Skin on Marius, might be able to protect us. She has protected block damage on everyone except herself, which is like the perfect scenario. And we will be able to kill her. So that's one way to do it. So even though she suffers fatal damage, she still provides one block damage shield as she goes down. Oh, shoot. My fault. My fault there. But it does cause her to take a turn, which allows her to die, but my fault there. Shouldn't have given her an extra turn there. Transform. Protected by the block damage. He has the swap health, yeah, so he can kick out of that enfeeble. Nasty. Really need Sifi to not die. Wanded? Oh man, wand meta. Wand meta is real, guys. Can't avoid it. He's still enfeebled, which is huge, but What happened there? How come he doesn't get slept? Doesn't make any sense. Is he immune to sleep? I don't remember. I don't fully recall now. Anyways, we played against Neve, and then that's, you know, that's one way to beat her is bring somebody that can go through block damage, of course. I just wanted to showcase it there. All right, so this would be one of those situations where I would probably end up going second. So I'll probably end up having to take Neve at the very end. Just because, you know, he has 2 6-star banners already and he took our fastest champion, which is Sifi. So this is a situation where we probably have to be playing behind. So I'm going to save that pick for the end. And now we just have to pick some champions that can play kind of well against basically playing from behind here. Let's see what happens. Our last pick is going to be Neve here. Rotos is not the one you want to see. Also, Georgia is also not the one you want to see. So we're going to end up picking UDK because it's such a hard counter to Rotos here. But hey, you know, this is one of those situations where I was getting ready to pick Neve. And, you know, these are real life situations, right? You have to be flexible with your picks and all that. We'll show this fight. I think it's going to be a quick one. He's not heavily protected or anything like that. He's going to try to kill the UDK here. We got triple reaction. So there we go. We got reaction procced. And then we're all good now. His rolls won't be able to cut through anytime soon. And we'll be able to heal up pretty quickly here. Yeah, triple reaction. He's not going to be able to do much. Let's get the value in. All right, that's it. It's going to be GG from here on out. Extra turn. Merciless. Not going to help him here. All right, GG, GG. Yeah, tough spot to pick Rotos there at the end, especially with us having one last support pick. Otherwise, we would have picked Neve, I think. Neve is a very good go second option, right? So, and even in suboptimal conditions, I would probably still pick her if I was going to go second. It just gives you a little bit of that extra security. All right. I mean, in this situation, Neve probably going to come in here against the Cometus. Sure. I think that is fine. Who do we want to play against here? We can play against the Lockout, play against the Arbiter. I mean, it's gotta be the Arbiter. It gives us the best chance to go first, although I don't think we're gonna be able to go first here. He has a much larger aura. I guess we have a banner. Maybe we go first. I don't know. This will be tough. Either way, we're bringing the block damage against the Cometus. Cometus has ways to go around it, of course, but might give us the best chance here. I assume we go second. Oh, we actually go first. It must be the bigger banner. Bigger banner probably did it in. Damn. Okay, so here in this spot, you probably just want to use the block debuffs here to protect against the Cometus. So we're just going to do that. Also, ally protection is really good because when everyone takes damage, Neve takes most of the damage, and that means she's going to reach the low below 50% HP threshold first, usually. Let's try to kill Cometus with the A2 here. We did it. And this should be it. And she's actually pretty good against Marius because Marius multi-hits, and then Marius brings down her HP to 50% per hit. There we go. Got that one done. And then I think we got one more here. The block debuffs obviously very good against bombs as well. So up against my clanmate. Let's see if this fight makes it to the showcase video. Good luck, good luck. Block damage is pretty good against Teras, so we will try it out. I would think I would even ban Teras and try to deal with this, but I think she's pretty good against this field here. I'm going to ban Marichka. I mean, these are really good. These are like some of the best Void champions in the game, right? Like, he has like 5 of them here, like 5 of the best Void champions in the game. So let's see. Let's see. He's sparing me the mythicals. He's sparing me the mythicals, I'm sure. Let's see how this goes. It's not a bad matchup for Neve. She's good against the block damage here. Sorry, the block damage is good against Teras' single target big smash, and we're going second anyways. So let's see what happens here. We're locked out, so that's going to be a big negative. Can I steal some of his stuff? Nope, I'll lock him out. Two of our stuff is stolen. Yeah, so that's a bit of a problem, right? You want Neve to be fast enough so that she loses her block damage so that she can get hit so that she can bring the block damage back. But in this case, both of our stuff got removed, so it's a pretty big problem. And yeah, we don't have the punching power that Odin has, so it's not going to work out. I think Suroth saved her there. But yeah, there we go. We hit the sub 50%, and then she got the block damage. This is a little punching bag now. All right, GG, I'm not going to waste your time here. All right, so yeah, these are real world fights, right? So let's see. We pick Neve here once against the Nishak. So the bombs worked out pretty good because each individual bomb hits her at once. Individually, and then she'll go below 50% HP and then trigger a block damage, protect against the rest of the bombs. What else? We did pick her here against the Cometus team. She wasn't really the star of the show or anything like that, but she was there to protect us. And we picked this one, and then we just basically got stripped and got blown away. So let's bring her out into Classic Arena so that we get more controlled fights, and then we'll see how she plays over there. All right, we'll bring her in this team here. I know it's probably not ideal. You could run Fabian in the lead here for speed lead. And obviously our CV is going to be pretty fast, so it might be in a go first situation. But I want to play her in like more go second situations. I also want to see how she performs against Nell here. And then Nell's one of the big meta champions right now because of her poisons. Every time we do turn meter boost, I believe she lands poisons. So there we go. We got a couple poisons on us, but we do have block damage. And we can do block debuffs here. Big heal. There we go. She did her damage. Block damage protects everybody, whoever had it on. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this team's not going to show too much here. That Nell's not strong enough. Let's refresh. Let's look for another team. All right, Hegemon. Hegemon's a good example here because we can counter Hegemon basically full stop. So same team, doesn't matter how fast we are, he's going to go first because of Hegemon, and it's a full stop counter, whether it be the damage or CC variant, doesn't matter. And then that should be it. Let's test out this one. Let's see if we can actually kill. Actually, it won't be able to kill Cardio because he's under 50%. Sorry, he's not under 50%. Oh, he's getting some heals. That's interesting. All right. Let's bring her with the A2 and boom, 66k. I mean, it's not big. He's frozen as well, so he's going to take reduced damage there. Let's see what else. All right, let's try to play against this guy. So this guy is full bombs. We got bombs here, Shazar, we got Cometus, we got big hit Siegfried, and then the lockout here. I don't know if this team's going to be that great. but it should be fun. Also, a quick note here: you want Neve as high up in the team order as possible because basically, when damage flows through the team, you want her to take the damage first so that she reaches 50%, and then she can place block damage on the champions after her. In the order of the damage flow, and then they will be protected from damage. So if you have her in the front, she gets hit first with the damage. If her HP goes below 50%, she places block damage on everybody, and then the damage will flow through the rest of your team. But since they have block damage, they won't be taking any hits. I'm not saying that this is optimal for her, but if you wanted to run Fabian in the lead, then you run her maybe second, for example. But just for purposes of the showcase, I run her in the lead. Let's see how we go. We're probably going to get locked out here. Probably fine. If we go first, then yeah, if we go first, I was just thinking if we go first, it's a little bit of a negative because CP is going to place the block debuffs, and then the bombs aren't going to be able to land and all that stuff. So it's not the best. But I think this fight's going to give us some opportunity to do some cool stuff here, I think. Siegfried is locked out, so he can't do anything too crazy. Yeah, definitely not doing anything crazy anymore. And we get the big heal back. Very powerful. Pretty big shield. Pretty big shield, right? And Cometus was about half health. Pretty big shield there. Fine, another team. All right, this team I guess looks kind of interesting. I mean, we have bombs here, Soul Drinker. We have HP burns. Let's take Sifi away. Let's run with Freya. Freya's pretty good too. She does bring shield, increased defense as well, so her increased defense could boost her up as well. And then block debuffs pairs really well with her because she can you can place block debuffs first, and having extra block debuff champions going to protect her from things like block buffs, for example. But let's see what happens here. Locked out. Is it strong enough to kill this Wukong? Let's see. Nope, not quite. We go block debuffs here. All right. Not really much of a fight. All right, let's go against this guy. He's got Marius, so he's got Strip. He's got Nice here as well. Yeah, let's see how well we do against this. He's going to go first too, so we're going to be playing go second. So block damage, we are protected. Cleanse and block debuffs. And watch this, the A2, slow it down for the cameras. We got Suzanne in our sights. 44k with a pretty good shield. And then, of course, the reset. The reset's real nice there. And there we go. Proper go second, got hit, and then survived. All right, let's look for some more teams. All right, let's keep looking. All right, let's try this team here against the HP burner. We'll be playing proper go second here. So let's see what happens. Like, Neve should be pretty good against just like pure damage dealers like Thor, for example. Not really go second. Our Fabian's fast enough to go first. Let's see. Just shut down the Thor with the decreased attack. Super nice. Cleanse and block debuffs from Freya. All right, once again, let's show the Hegemon counter again. And then this time we're going to go up against the Hefrak here as well. So if we come back in, kill somebody, it's also going to protect against Hefrak. We can watch the passive trigger, I guess. And let's see. So we've got protected from the Hegemon with the block damage. And then here we go. Got the big shields coming with the A2. We can kill the Hegemon and trigger the Hefrak. Boom, 57k, big shield, everybody protected. Life is good. And decrease attack. That's really crippling, actually. The decrease attack is super crippling. And then, of course, the decrease crit rate as well. There you go. GG. Works super well. Like, it's such a hard counter to somebody like Hegemon. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the showcase for Neve Spear of Nyresa. Hopefully, it showed you guys some real-world applications for you guys to test her out in. Like I said, 9-piece protection seems to be very, very powerful. Any kind of protection set would be good for, or 6-piece. If not, you just go speed, defense, and a little bit of crit damage so she can hit kind of hard. She wasn't hitting super hard even when she was getting the ignore defense, about 30, 40, 50k around there. So she wasn't doing like crazy amounts of damage. But she can do enough to finish off most enemies when they are under 50% HP. So you don't have to worry about her like hitting like, Duchess levels of damage. Her shield is also very substantial as well. And of course you get the additional conditional cooldown reduction, which is really, really nice. But overall, I'm pretty happy with her overall performance. And I think I'm going to be using her pretty frequently, especially in spots where I'm going to be going second. At least it gives the opponent something to worry about that they have to kind of deal with. I would say she's not on the power level or versatility as somebody like Odin, but she's very, very strong as a kind of like a go second option, or just a really strong general support to carry you through the game. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Do you guys have Neve? Do you guys use her in various levels of content? Let me know how you guys use her. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.